speak. You don't have to raise your hand.
Okay. It was late getting here. So I'm assuming you're channeling. Are you channeling Mary Magdalene?
I am Mary Magdalene.
Okay. And I'm very, very interested in ancient mysticism, Gnostics, particularly interested in what happened to Mary Magdalene, if she did in fact go to the south of France, and if so, what happened to her after Jesus' death.
Very good. Very good. These are the questions I've been waiting for. Thank you. All right. What happened? What did I do after Jesus?
She just kind of disappeared, I know.
Well, first I went to Egypt for a little while. Okay. I spent time there. And I traveled a little bit. You know, we traveled and taught the message of Jesus. Okay. With Mary the Mother. Mary the Mother. Okay. After that, I eventually ended up in France. Okay. But before that happened, I did travel.
So what happened to you in France? Now, did you end up in Amiens, up in the northern France? I know supposedly you started out in Marseille and then just kind of disappeared. You know, myths say spend time in a cave meditating. I'm not sure that rings true to me, so I'm just curious about it. And what happened if you had any children?
I had one child.
A daughter?
Yeah, we talked about that
Sarah?
earlier. And I spent a lot of time in the cave connecting with my higher energy, connecting with my higher spirits. Yes.
Okay, what was your connection to John the Baptist, if any?
I didn't have a connection with John the Baptist. I never met him.
Okay. So were you a member of the scene or the Gnostic communities in Alexandria in Egypt?
Yes. Exactly.
So he was not contemporary, or was he?
It was like our paths went like this.
Okay.
Yeah, we never had direct contact, and I was a little younger than him, also, actually about maybe 8 to 10 years younger. So yes, our paths never really crossed. I was in school in Alexandria, Egypt, when he was out
teaching and. Okay, now did the Gnostic communities or the scene communities in Alexandria teach like how to become Christed from the mystery schools? Was part of the information was lost during the Roman Church's prosecution of ancient documents? But did they have those mysteries? Did they teach how to do that?
They did. Only certain people received those ceremonies, though, those teachings.
So you had to be initiated.
Mm-hmm. You had to be. When I was there, I was a child. I went there as a child, okay? And it was almost like you were put into certain groups, okay? And you could move from a different group if you progressed, but most of the time you stayed within that group, okay? So some people were taught the Christ ceremony, and some people were not. Okay, and that's why there's so much mystery around it even now, because so few were taught, even if they had had the documents from the libraries, which were lost. To mankind. That doesn't mean that they won't be found at some point. Okay. Because there is a vessel that does have a lot of this information in it. But not everyone received it. Okay?
Is it true that your birthplace was Magdala, or were you always in Egypt? Or?
I grew up in Magdala, but my birthplace was actually in Egypt. My mother, okay, was Egyptian, and my father was Jewish.
I've been doing past lives and remembering past lives, particularly around, well, a lot of different eras, but particularly fascinated about the Mary Magdalene story, what was the truth about it. So thank you, I appreciate that. Pretty much verifies what
I thank you for your questions.
And been reading books on the Rex Day, the bloodline of supposedly Jesus' bloodline. Supposedly there were 9 Templars who found ancient documents were hidden, I think a lot of them by the Gnostics, in these scenes when Jerusalem was taken over by the Babylonians. And then they used this information, and a lot of it was the secrets, the mystery school of secrets and things that you were educated in. Is that true?
That's true. That's true. Yes. Yeah, most people outside of the schools weren't always necessarily open to receiving. And it would not have worked, just as now, it's also very speculative, it would not have worked for me to bring these teachings forward. Okay? It had to be a man, and it had to be someone that has the charisma that Jesus had, and I would even go so far as to put it in one of your words of attraction. He was able to draw people to him.
Magnetic type. I've been feeling for a long time I want to set up a non-profit devoted to Mary Magdalene.